everyone, I'm Angela. Welcome and welcome back to Angela's Fashion Mix. I hope you've had a fantastic day and thanks for being here. If you're new, welcome to the channel. This is where I talk about fashion, how I enjoy what's in my wardrobe. I share style tips. Periodically, there's a DIY, a little bit of lifestyle mixed in, but mostly in some way about fashion. And today I'm talking a little bit about what's trending for fall for 2025 and showing you what's in my wardrobe that I'm planning to incorporate into some of the mixes, as well as some new pieces that I've been picking up over the past month or so. And we're going to be pulling those in as well. So we're going to talk a little bit about what those pieces are. And I'm showing a couple of bags, and I am also showing a little bit of footwear. So what's trending for fall?
So every year there is a color of the year. And this year for 2025, it's called Mocha Mousse. You'll see some variations on the shade depending on where you see it, but ultimately this is what it looks like and it's going to show up everywhere. I'm already starting to see boots, so let's start with boots and see how that can potentially look. And we can incorporate our short boots into our day-to-day looks with a low heel or no heel, just incorporating the color. A lot of versatility when it comes to this color. And we'll be able to also bring in our knee-length boots. As you can see, a little bit of variation on color, but as I always mention, start with the color of the year and just change the color complexities based on what your needs are. Velvet boots, gonna show up. The velvet texture I'm going to talk about in a little bit. But don't forget your footwear when it comes to your dressy footwear. This is a metallic, but also in the color family. So we can still incorporate that for the color scheme and stick with that. Trending colors for fall 2025 include rich earthly neutrals like mocha mousse brown and honey beige, along with bold classic shades such as burgundy, deep burgundies, siren red, and if you don't want to make that clothing, you don't wear reds, go to your lipsticks or your nail colors. Also incorporated is going to be pale greens and of course various shades of blue. Don't forget your outerwear in hats, scarves, and your gloves.
So we're going to start talking about bold colors. So if you are planning to follow any of the trends, one place you can implement some of your clothing is with brights, geometric patterns, heavy prints, all of those kinds of things are going to come into play as well as with your colors. So not necessarily a solid color, but if you have some bold prints, those are going to work for the trends as well. Also, I've mentioned before that a color I used to never wear was brown. So if you saw my Sunday short for the 14th, that is a color that I used to would never put on. I did not even have it in my wardrobe. But I've become quite fond of brown over the past several years. So I have a bit of that. So I'm going to show you some pieces that is going to work for if I want to go into the trend mode and pull some pieces out of the wardrobe. We're going to be sharing a little bit of what that might look like. So those are going to be pieces that are some staples like turtlenecks. So we're going to show you what that is as well.
If you were on the live chat on Saturday,
The 13th, one color I mentioned was what I wore on Friday night to church service for our anniversary. Started on Friday, and the color is blush. This is the dress that I wore. If you didn't see that video, this is still going to carry into the fall trend. So pull out your blush, pull out your pinks, pull out the pink pastels, whatever that looks like for you, and you can pull those in to your color mixes. They are going to be back in trend for fall as well. But also a color that is going to be very popular this trending season is going to be red. So you may see some pink and red combinations. I've seen pink and red together. It's a pretty mix with the shades being matched correctly, but not just a pink top or a red bottom. The color concentrations, which I've talked about before, they really need to work very well together to make that really work well. Something that I always wear. I don't pull it in as a trend. It's always in my wardrobe. I wear it year after year after year, and that's animal print. But don't exclude the zebra print in the animal print trend. It's still an animal, it is a print. So you can also incorporate that along with the leopard and the cheetah. You can also incorporate zebra in black and white or whatever color you choose. Black and white mostly is what we see, but for the animal print trend, pull that in as well. As far as fabrics go, for textures, velvet for fall. I've talked a bit about velvet over several videos, and it's a fabric that I like, especially in fall and winter. Great time to pull that out. And if you've got velvet in some really lush colors, it's a great time to pull that in for the fall trend. I also have mentioned in prior videos that if you want to participate in some way in the trend and you don't particularly like the specific color that's trending, play off of another shade in that particular color family. You don't have to stick to the exact color. Some of what I'm going to be showing you today is not the exact color for the trend, but it's what's in my wardrobe, and that's what I'll be wearing. So we're going to pull whatever those things are in some of my favorite shades. Although the trend may say something different, wear what you have, and you can mix it into a print. It doesn't have to be a solid. It can very easily be mixed in with something that is a bold print or something that's a statement piece, your jewelry, your bag, or your shoes. Easy ways to incorporate what those colors are going to be. Knitwear, always around. We wear it all the time. It's a great time to bundle up with our cardigans, with our knits, with our sweater dresses, with little jackets, anything in the knit family that you have that you want to incorporate. Now is a good time to do so. And whatever the color is, trending or not, knitwear is going to be something that we're going to see. So that bulky, heavy kind of look is going to be something that we're going to be looking at quite a bit this fall, and carrying that into winter. I have a few pieces that will show up in a color actually that I wore today for my morning. It's coral. So it's not a trending color per se, but it is a bold color. And I will probably throw that in when it gets really cold. So throw those colors in that maybe you don't typically wear. It's a great time to pull it out. And chances are you'll find something that's going to coordinate with it to create some new looks. Fringe, it's always around. It comes up in different places. I have fringe in a bag. I have fringe in a skirt, which I'm going to show you. So there's always an opportunity to mix in the element in some way without feeling like or looking like you just spit out the trend. What I'm speaking of is just finding ways to incorporate whatever the trend is, be it fabric or color or a style. You can take it from the most in your face to something very subtle. So that is totally up to you how you incorporate a trend into your wardrobe. Sheer styles are still going to be around most of the time when it comes to a sheer piece. If it's a top, a camisole is going to take that sheer away or camouflage the sheer. If the sheerness is in a hemline or in a bottom, then a slip may come into play. If it's a pair of pants, there are liners that you can wear underneath a sheer piece to give you some cover. So sheer pieces are still going to be in focus for fall. Now, as far as other elements to add to your looks, scarves are going to be big. Wrap them, layer them, mix the colors, whatever works for you. Also with your belts. I'm not a huge belt wearer. I do own belts, and when I need a belt, I have a belt. But if you're huge into belts, now's a great time to pull them out. Belts can also be statement pieces, but they also serve a function, of course. And if you need to cinch your waist, definitely a belt or even a scarf is definitely going to be an option for you to make that work. And you might even see a little bit of an exaggerated shoulder with shoulder pads. Back in the 80s, shoulder pads were a thing, and we can bring shoulder pads back if it's going to be a look that gives you a bit more structure, or if you have a silhouette that you have a lower shoulder, definitely you can incorporate a shoulder pad to just give you a little bit of lift right here in this area. And what it also does is makes your pieces look a little more tailored, a little more finished. So bring back those shoulder pads when needed and incorporate those as a trend or otherwise into your looks. So I'm going to start with pieces that I have picked up. I mentioned that camo is it's a print that I like, and I've been trying to pull some pieces together to create a look that I want because I've been kind of looking for a camo dress. I have not seen one that I want in the style I want. So we're gonna manufacture something based on a couple of pieces that I found. One you've seen before, and that is a camo shirt. I've worn this in a look, and this has some sheerness to it. As I mentioned, I did wear camisole under it. So for the camo style, I've had this piece, but I found this skirt. It is an oversized skirt, and I am going to need to. I'm gonna have to cut it up a little bit. What I want to try to salvage on this is that it's a cargo skirt. So I don't want to lose the pocket. So we're going to try to work that from the back and see what we come up with. But for the long style that I am trying to create, we're going to do that. And I thrifted the skirt. So we're going to see if we can make a look that I want to have from that. Also, the fringe. I have this skirt. I've had it for a while. So fringe is going to be at play here. And I wore this for a Western style something I went to. It worked well for that. And of course, with a bulky sweater, we could definitely do this. This is going to be great, of course, with a pair of boots, Western or otherwise. But the fringe is going to just offer some movement. I like movement in certain pieces. And this is a faux suede. And one of the colors for the fall trend. So also already in my closet is a couple of turtlenecks. And this one in this tan color is acrylic. It is so very warm. If you're familiar with acrylic, if you wear acrylic, you know it will keep you warm. But definitely in a shade that will work. Also in this caramel color. This is a ribbed turtleneck. I absolutely love this. And I like a lot of it because of the detail here on the shoulder, along with the rib. So a couple of shade variations, but still in the same family. We can definitely incorporate those. They're going to work well. So to some pieces that I've purchased, maybe within the past month and a half, just kind of looking at some things that I need to replace some things with. As you all know, I do get rid of things on a regular basis, so I just needed to pull back and get some pieces to replace a few of those. And I'm going to start with this red top in the vein of bold colors. We definitely can do this. It's a little crop top with a peplum button front, and I got this at H&M. It was $20, and I like the feel of it. It also has a little bit of stretch. So we can definitely incorporate this with a variety of colors. And I'm going to show you one color combination that I really do like with red. And I mentioned this before, I'm very cautious as to how I wear red with black. I do wear that combination, but I tend to focus more on one shade than the other when I do, to kind of find a balance for me that's comfortable. So I think with certain things it can get to be a lot when both of those pieces are at play. I think they fight each other a little bit, and that's a red and black thing for me and how I use those pieces. So for the trending colors, this is very much like the brown dress from Sunday, but it's in a different shade, and it is ribbed, and it's a different fabric. So this is a bit more casual. It has slits on the side. But when I saw this, I immediately thought boots And I also thought bomber jacket. Now, we could do this with a cardigan. And I'm not styling these pieces today. You're going to be seeing them in shorts and in other areas. But I just wanted to show you what they are and just talk about a little bit of how we can use these in our wardrobe. Now, with the slits on the side, it comes up to about my knee where that falls. But this is a maxi. So this is going to work nicely with a boot to the knee or with the booty. But this would also be cute with a sneaker. But I can also dress this up. So I could throw on a nice coat with this. This would just be that piece underneath. So when I've talked about statement coats before and what your coat is going to do when you don't have the time or don't want to do a lot with your outfit, this is one of those pieces for me that will work in those situations. So this is similarly very basic, but if I throw on a statement coat, throw some accessories on, it'll look like I did more than I really did. And this is not going to be highly visible under a statement coat that's as long as the dress. So that's one way I would try that. Also, another piece in this color family is this little top. Now, someone, depending on your height, might will wear this as a dress. It could potentially be a baby doll dress. We're going to wear this as a top. And I love it because it has the crinkle detail. And this is an overlay. I do like that there is a peplum on the hem. And there's a double ruffle here on the sleeve. And this ties in the back. And both of these pieces I got at Walmart. So the dress was $16 and the top was $23. $16.23. Another piece that I got at Walmart, because it's black, you all know the story, is this black sheer top. This also is an overlay. This is a look that I've become quite fond of, just because of the movement again. I like the sheerness, and the sleeves are sheer. And I also like the detail here on the sleeve. So we have the little ties there to create that. And this is the shape of the sleeve. So this was $23 as well, and also from Walmart. So we got a look in mind for that. And for another color, and for the color trend, these pants. Love the color, love the wide leg. There's elastic in the waist. We have faux pockets on the back, but the front does have functioning pockets. I think I'm probably going to leave these closed because I don't want them to pop open. We'll see how that goes, and of course it depends on what I'm wearing it with. We also have buttons here on the front. So I do like these, and I absolutely love this color and the versatility of this color. And of course we can wear black with it. That's a given. But as I mentioned, I was going to show you how to wear red with it, and I absolutely love this color combination. I really like brown and red together, but this color in the mocha trend is also a nice color combination. I like that a lot as well. So pull your reds and your browns, mix them up. A little different than red and black. That gives you another base to start with, and there's a lot of versatility with red and your browns. And the pants are from Cato, and they were $29. Another couple of pieces that I picked up. One in this denim dress, and it tapers a bit at the hip, flares a bit at the hem. I do like that. And the hem has a small fringe detail, kind of a distressed trim there. This is from Ashley Stewart. It zips in the back. And this was $69.50 was the price on it. And I got this during the time they were having a sale. I believe it was 30% off. Don't hold me to that. But I think at the time I got it, it was 30% off. But yeah, I do like that quite a bit. So again, bomber jacket, boots, high boot, or a bootie. It's going to work well with that. I love that. So a great piece for fall as well as winter. It can go with a turtleneck. We can throw a blazer on with it. Of course, just a regular coat, a cardigan, all the possibilities with a long denim dress. And finally, a two-piece set, also in denim. And we have pants with a vest. The vest has gold buttons. I really like that. And this has a little bit of stretch to it. I like the shawl collar as well as the top stitching there. Like that a lot. Again, with faux pockets. They're slanted. That adds a bit of interest. I do like that. And for the pants, I've already altered these. These were a little bit full in the waist, so we've already tapered that. These also have a faux pocket in the back. No pockets in front, but elastic in the waist. But it also has a zip front with the snap. So a bit of stretch. These have good stretch in them. I don't remember the price on the pants. I took the tag off. They were probably somewhere around, I'm guessing somewhere around $30. And I'm guessing that because the vest was $30. They may have been differently priced, but I would say somewhere in there. $25 to $30 for the pants. And the vest was $29. So for a denim ensemble, this can definitely be dressed up or dressed down. Of course, turtleneck is going to come into play, or I can do this with a blouse or a different style of top, or on a warm day, I could just do something sleeveless with this. But I'm excited about wearing that. I'm looking forward to that. So those are my most recent finds for fall and winter. So we're going to be incorporating those. I have pulled out a few more pieces that I'm replacing some of this for. So we're going to be pulling fall and winter looks together. Kind of starting to think about winter because it's over there. It will be very long coming, of course. But we're going to push through, and what we're wearing in fall, we're going to push into winter. So if you're starting to shop and started to think about what your fall and winter wardrobe looks like, these may be some things that you can consider for clothing. So for bags, for color, for the trend that's already in my closet, I have this bag in the mocha color. This is by Michael Kors. I've had it for, I don't know, 3 or 4 years. So that is what's trending color-wise. For texture, I'm going to fur. You all know I like fur. And, of course, a shade in terms of brown. So just a true brown with the faux. This is a handbag. So we're going to do that. I also have a hat that I've worn with this. That's a fur hat. So we can do that. Also in fur, yet another variation. And this incorporates 2 elements from the trend. One being animal print and the other texture. Again, for me, I'm pulling in fur for the texture. And a bold print. We can do that. And this is just a little clutch. So that for the bags. So for shoes, we have animal print. We can definitely do that, or you can go with the low heel for the print, but also for boots in color variations. Not just for clothing, but also when it comes to your shoes and accessories. I also incorporate these things with different shades. They're going to do very different things to create very different style options. Now, I did pick up a color shoe I don't believe I've ever had, but I picked it up because of the camo print, but also it's one of the color trends, sort of. It's the color trend is warm green. I think the olive color here can do that. But I picked it not because of the trend. I picked it because I feel like I can get this together with my camo look. So we're going to pull that in for when the time comes. Of course, when it comes to jewelry, you can bring in the statement pieces, whether you go silver, whether you go gold, whether you go bold or simple. Your accessories are going to also add a bit to your looks. So don't forget those spaces. I hope you enjoyed the video, and maybe there's something here from what I've shown that will help you pull your fall and winter looks together. Trend or no trend. Trends are for those who want to follow trends. Trends are also there for inspiration. Trends are there to duplicate looks as well. So wherever you fall in that, whether you participate in the trend or not, we still want to enjoy the pieces that we have day to day, month to month, year after year after year, for as long as we have those pieces. So everyone, until next time, have a fantastic upcoming week. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. And until then, don't forget to subscribe, like the video, and share. We'll see you the next time. Bye.